All right, so this is The Woman in the Yard. It's directed by Joan Coyette-Sarah. It's the latest Blumhouse horror movie. Blumhouse is hit or miss for me, but I saw the trailer and I was like, okay, this looks interesting. This might be a good one. So basically, it's about this mother, Ramona, played by Danielle Deadweiler. She's still grieving her husband who died in a car accident. And she's actually injured, still injured from that car accident too. And she's clearly going through a lot. She's grieving and she's depressed and things like that. She's trying. The power goes out and her phone's not charged, so she can't even call to get the power back on. So they're just her and her kids are just kind of in the house, and they end up looking out the window and they see a woman just sitting outside in front of their house in the yard, all black, face covered, things like that. So she goes out there to be like, "Hey, are you lost? What's going on?" And the lady's already really creepy with her voice and things like that, and it's already cryptic, saying certain things about her kids and her husband that died and things like that. So she goes back into the house and she's like, "Hey, don't go outside," because she's seeing her as potentially dangerous now. So they spend the day pretty much just looking out the window at the lady, worried about what she might do. And they get more and more paranoid, and things get scarier and scarier, and things get actually kind of chaotic once the lady actually starts doing things. Like I said, this is an interesting premise. It's an interesting trailer too. This lady is just sitting out there in front of this house. Okay, what's the explanation? There's got to be an explanation to it. And what can she do, or what will she do once she finally gets up out of that seat? And finally gets up and does stuff. Yeah, So there's something there, but the movie just doesn't fully come together to me, and we'll get into why. But I think it's shot well. I think for the most part, because there's points where because the depth of field is it's one of those movies where the depth of field is kind of annoying. Where there's even a point where the mother looks over in the yard for a second, and that part is out of focus, and she's in focus. I was like, well, shouldn't that be in focus at this moment? But whatever. So the depth of field was kind of getting on my nerves, but. Uh, for the most part, I like the way it was shot. I like specifically the shots of the woman. I thought they were dynamic. I thought they added to the creepiness of it, the creepiness of her, and really wanting to know like, okay, what's going on? The tension. I think the acting, the performances, all good for the most part. There's not that many characters even in this, but still, I thought they were good. The actress that plays the mom, Danielle Deadweiler, I thought she was really good. She's clearly going through grief, and when she was meant to be freaked out by what was going on, you felt it, and you were also freaked out right along with her, creeped out with her. So I think that worked. I think the actress that played the woman was good too. I'm gonna completely destroy this name, Akwe Obokwasili. I probably messed that all up, but I thought she was good too, and I liked what they did with the voice, where it was like two voices in one. It was like otherworldly, supernatural. I definitely think that added to it. Whenever she would start to, most of the time she's just sitting there, but whenever she would start to talk, it was unsettling. It's like, oh shit, what's she gonna do? That being said, though, the movie just it feels like they wanted to do something, or they had an idea of what's going on with the woman and what the explanation would be, but not how to get there really. The the pacing is slow, and they know it's slow, so they have to have certain things happen with the family, but not actually happen. Like these little visions of the mom doing a certain thing or not, and so they threw that in there, and that was effective at first, but then got less effective, got kind of annoying actually. The the family, it's like the mom and the kids. I was kind of annoyed by them. Not necessarily the youngest, but the mother and the son especially. But the mother, she's going through a lot, and so I get it. So it wasn't necessarily her as much, but the son was really getting on my nerves. He was so annoying. He was so obnoxious. At first, he's annoyed because the power's out and he wants to play video games. Okay, I get that. But once the lady is out there, the woman's actually in the yard in front. He's looking out the window, just at a 10 from then on. I mean, just, oh, I want to go. What's going on, mom? She goes out to talk to her. She comes back. What's going on, mom? Oh, what's happening? Where's she supposed to be at? Why is she there? What's going on? I could take the keys. I could drive to a neighbor's place and try and make a call. I could walk and make a call. I could do this. I could do that. She's like, you're not going outside. And he finds any opportunity he can to go outside anyway. Even before things have even gotten all that bad, he's still like, no, I'm gonna go get a gun. I was like, whoa, relax, relax. There are steps to get to before you decide to just grab a gun and go threaten a lady just for sitting outside in front of your house. I was like, there are steps to this. I mean, that was pretty early on. I was like, man, it's just constant. Mom, you lied to us. Mom, what's going on? Mom, being blatantly disrespectful to his mom, calling her names, throwing a ball against the wall in this really annoying way. It's like, man, they are trying to make this kid as annoying as possible, and it's it's really getting to me. It was to the point where once the woman actually did start doing stuff, I was like, if she does kill this kid or do so or injure him or whatever, it kind of is what it is because he's really getting on my nerves, and with all that he's been doing, he's kind of asking for it at this point. It's her sitting outside, and there is some well done tension there. Some visions that start off creepy and kind of okay, and then aren't so much because they're overused. A reveal, the mom has to reveal something to the kids, and that reveal was good, but not enough to justify how slow the movie's been up to that point. It's just not. It just wasn't satisfying enough. And then most of what's going on when it comes down to it is kind of things just moving around in the house and they're running away from it. And so I was like, okay, well that's just kind of lame and doesn't isn't enough to justify what we've watched up to this point. And then there's just things just happening where it's just really messy where the mirrors are involved in a way that I didn't really understand and things like that. I was like, man, this you clearly knew, especially with what happens at the very end, you clearly knew what you wanted to do, but not how to get there. Because once that ending happens, in a better movie, that ending would be insanely powerful. But in this movie, it's not justified. So it just kind of happens, and you leave the movie with more questions. But hey, the movie's over, so it's too slow. And when things actually do get going, then it actually becomes messy, but not all that good or all that satisfying by the time you get to it, especially when you get to certain reveals, especially what's going on, what the woman actually is, and the explanation for her, and the way things end. It's not justified with everything that happened up to that point. There really are questions. I was like, okay, well, what was that with the dog? What was this? What was that? What's this? The focus on mirrors and backwards letters. What was that? So it's one of those movies that you're gonna look up. Okay, woman in the yard explained, and I don't think it will be enough to save the movie after that. I really don't. So I'm gonna give it a rental. It didn't really work for me. Some good stuff here, but definitely needed better writing. They needed a better way of uh, explaining what's actually going on here and getting us there without feeling like a messy movie up to that point. So anyway, yeah, that's The Woman in the Yard, rental, and yeah, that's it. What up?